Hey, good morning everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Got a nice warm and dry day happening here today. We could really use some rain out here. And head on up to the shop. Yeah, it's beautiful out, but when I get up here, the ground is crunchy, which is not normal, but it is what it is, right? But yeah, I can see some pigs have been through here through the night. They come and churn the ground up, usually looking for things like worms, but that ground is pretty dry. Trade wind's not really blowing up there, so it's going to be a warm one. I'll continue up to the shop. I searched the place high and low for a battery that might need a charge on it. And of course the sun is up and high enough these days. Everything's fully charged. I may have one. So I wanted to show you guys this charger that I'm still loving. You've seen it before. I think it deserves another mention. Comes in a little more handy in the winter time. Got plenty of sunshine these days. Everything's looking good. So yeah, let's head on into the shop. And the shop is still being powered right now by this 400 watt foldable portable array from Nersve. Continues to work very well. Go up here, take the back way in. Up to the bungalow hall. And I hauled this battery up here yesterday, and that's going to get tore down. If you've been following the story, you know what's going on with that. We're going to dive into that. I'm not going to pop it open today. I'm going to get back on here and show you this. That's the Victron Energy Blue Smart Charger, 12 volt, 30 amps. See if we can't find a battery that needs a little charge. Show you why I like that so much. I'm going to run it off of this system. I call it my blue wall. Let's get some power going on in here. Turn on the light. There we go. Now you can see it better. Okay, let's see what's going on with this system. Okay, on the blue wall here, already still morning into float, but really haven't been using much power up here. So everything remains full. But we're going to use this system to run this and charge a battery. Not that one, but charge another one. So what makes running everything on the blue wall most convenient, being all Victron, you know, I've got the MPPT there, the inverter, smart shunt, and dongle, which makes this readable on the app for everything. So up here on this one, you can see I've got the MPPT, which is the 130. Up there shows that it's in float, of course, 13.5. The smart shunt, same thing, shows 13.5. And then the inverter shows that while it's on right now and with the light on, 17 watts. And as soon as I plug this in to this system, this will pop up on the display of apps as well. And that is one of the reasons I just love this battery charger so much. And it also, besides 30 amps of charging, you can go into the settings and only charge at 15 amps if you want to. So yeah, it works really well. So let me just plug that in real quick. It's not hooked up to anything, but So now it's on. Should see a couple of lights flashing. There we go. Let's run right over to the app real quick and see that it's already, as you can see, up at the very top. Right there. That's for the charger. Now that was the last time I had a battery hooked up to it, so it still shows that and what the battery voltage was the very last time I used it. So let's hook it up to a battery, and I'm not kidding, I did have to search high and low, and I still couldn't find a battery that wasn't pretty full. So we'll drain one down a little bit so I can show you how this particular charger works and why I love it so much. So yeah, every battery that I tried to find, they're all full. So what I'm doing right now, I just hooked up this little pure sine wave inverter to this particular battery. It still shows, gosh, 98% full. And I've got this tower fan hooked up to it as well. It is blowing right now. It's a little warm in here, so I'm gonna get some air moving up here, drain that battery down far enough to where it'll accept a charge off that charger, because if I was to plug it in right now, it would just go right up to 100% full real quick. So I'm gonna let this run for a few minutes, create enough space in here to show you like what I would do when I have a surplus of power, and especially if I had a battery that willing to accept a charge. So it's not a bad problem to have, but you know, in the winter time when the sun's a little bit lower in the sky, this charger comes more into play for me. But I've got all of my systems built up now for the lowest sunshine hours of the day, that I'm still doing good year-round, not using a generator ever for power, which has always been my main goal. So this is just kind of a FYI and why I like this. I've got a couple other chargers, and this is one of them, a 30 amp charger. Works very well. It's just got some alligator clips on one end. Clip them onto a battery, pumps 30 amps in, and it'll drive your battery up to 14.2. There's no app with this, so you can't, you know, watch it. You'd have to monitor your battery with a multimeter. Works well. I've used this plenty of times. It's never failed me. But yeah, I like having the app, and I like having it being Victron. Yeah, a little more spendy for these, of course, than one of these. And then here's a Power Queen 12 volt charger. This is a 20 amp charger. Same thing as this one here. You plug this one in. It's got some alligator clips attached to your battery. Same thing. It'll just pump 20 amps into the battery until it's fully charged, which these things just cut off charging right at 14.2 volts, which is really great. I mean, that's basically what you want, right? Can't really adjust them at all as far as power going in. 20 amps full time, 30 amps full time. This one 30 or 15, whichever you choose. So I will say this also about all three of these. This one is from Ardroit, Power Queen, and of course Victron. If you're stepping away from your charging, they will all stop charging at 14.2. So, you know, I say, yeah, in order to check what your battery voltage is on this one or this one, you're going to need your multimeter. This one, you'll be able to refer to your app and see it. You don't have to be, you know, running around with a multimeter using one of these, but all of them will actually stop charging once the battery reaches that 14.2 volts on the 12 volt system. So all of those have that nice feature. They automatically just stop charging. I have walked away from all of these before and gone back, and they were just done. The battery was full. They weren't drawing any power. Some of you may remember a few years ago when I first got this, I had it tied in to my system, which was that Chin system down at the house, the main house system, and I had it mounted on, you know, on the wall. I had it like that, mounted like that, and had the positive and negative leads tied into a bus bar, and if that system ever dropped down, which when I first set that system up, it would occasionally, and then I would fire up a generator and just plug the generator into this charger and boost up that system. I've had it mounted up in here as part of the blue wall for the same purposes, mostly for demonstration with you guys. I've never really needed this up here. I've got plenty of power and to keep everything running up here, but this could be part of your wall system easily, you know, for supplemental charging with a generator, and it worked just absolutely perfectly for that too. So I liked it when I had it hooked up like that. I use it just now as a portable if need be. Haven't needed it much, but just to show you guys, we're going to continue on here. And that battery's still draining down some. So for me, one of the biggest reasons I love the Victron pieces of equipment are not only because they're extremely reliable and work exactly like they should, but it is because of the app. So if I go to the charge controller now for this system and show you what it's been doing here lately, which is not much because it's just getting fully charged every single day. I mean, we can go right now and there's the live feed. Got 18 watts coming in off that 400 watt array, and this battery has already been fully charged and it's just sitting in float 13.5, and the only reason it's drawing that, like I mentioned, is because the inverter is on. I've got a light on. Been charging a couple small devices while I'm up here making this video. But if we go to the history and look, you know, you can see right down here the week previous. This was yesterday. I was up here dinking around, so I, you know, put in a whopping 140 watt hours yesterday is that big spike. But every other day I haven't really been up here doing much, so 20 watt hours, 10 watt hours. 20 watt hours was the most, just 10 or 20 for the previous week, because the battery was always full. So the minute the sun hit those panels, 10 watt hours later, it was over. Charging done. So, and here we are today, put in 20 watt hours. Now, this should change here when we start drawing this system down using this. We're just going to plug it in right there and let all of this pump up that battery right there, which it is still draining. So, but yeah, this is the reason I've just love Victron devices. For me, it's really convenient just to be able to look on my phone or my tablet here and see exactly what's going on. Don't have to run around with a multimeter like days of old. But you know, most of the newer devices and stuff now have all of this kind of these apps that show you what's going on. It's just most convenient. And then also looking at, like, okay, here's the charge controller, shows 13.5 volts. Here's the smart shunt, 13.5 volts. And here's the inverter, battery voltage, 13.5. The AC load, 10 watts. State is actually, it's inverting right now because it's on. So yeah, all of that at a glance. Can't beat it. All right, well, I drained it down a little bit. Hopefully we'll be able to show you, and got it hooked up, and we'll plug it in right now and see what it does. And looking at the settings again for the charger, you can see I've got it set on a custom charge for 14.2 volts. Some of those others, you know, normal 14.4, normal and reconditioned 14.4, high 14.7, high and reconditioned 14.7. 14.2 is what I want. Now, let's kick it on to, let's look real quick and see what the battery voltage is, 13.51, and now let's go back into settings real quick and we'll kick it up. You can tell how quiet that is. No sound coming from this. The hum we hear is from the inverter, which is normal. Let's kick this up to 30 amps real quick. You can hear everything kind of hum a little bit more. Getting a little hum off of this. And that battery voltage will change very quickly. So with 30 amps instead of 15, look, it jumped right to 13.65, 66. And because that battery is not very depleted at all, that will quickly go at 30 amps. So the whole point of this video is showing you like what I would use my excess power for. This system was fully charged, is sitting in float day after day, week after week lately. And you know, if I had a battery that was depleted, and as you guys know, months ago I was having to shuffle batteries around a little bit, this is what I would do. I would come use my excess power, especially on a good sunny day, and just use this system to run this, to charge this. And it all works really, really well like that. So yeah, jumping up to 13.68. I'm going to go ahead and knock it back down to 15 amps. I just wanted to show you that easily do that off of a smaller system here. The inverter can handle it. Everything can handle it. So up to 30 amps, easy. So yeah, that's the reason I'm still just, I mean, I love this charger for all of these reasons that I'm showing you. And let's go back to see what this battery, which we're drawing off of to run the charger, and the panels are still, it's very hot outside. That, you know, those panels I'm sure are pretty close into full sun. I'd have to walk down there to see, but 200 and some odd watts, but I mean it's very hot out there, so they're not going to get up to their 400 watt output for sure on a hot day like this, as we all know. And we can see like this battery now is down to 12, 13 volts basically, and drawing down. So yeah, just a way to use some excess power. And then looking at the charger, the light is on for the bulk state. Once it would kick over to absorption, that light would come on, and then that light would come on for float. So right now it's still bulking up this particular battery. And I'm going to give you a listen. This thing does hum when you're pulling 30 amps off of it. That's about as loud as I ever hear it go. And then I'll kick it back down to 15 amps. And you can see it quieted down quite a bit. And I just unplugged this, and then that goes dead quiet, no hum whatsoever, because we're really not pulling anything off of that. We can go right back and show you that just what I'm drawing off of this. Go back to the charge controller app. Allowing 251 watts in. Quickly the voltage jumps up 13.42, and it'll go right back, finish off this bulk stage real quick, and you know, that's a full battery still. So yeah. And one thing I'll say about this charger, it does run pretty warm. I mean, it's very, very warm to the touch right now for as little as we ran it at 30 amps. And I've noticed that over the years, and a lot of you guys have commented too. Yeah, it runs a little hot, but it does just fine. I mean, it gets hot to the touch. It's not hot now. I mean, it's warm to the touch. But if I'd have left 30 amps on that for, hours, if I was really bringing a battery up to a full charge that was depleted, it gets pretty warm. So keep that in mind, where if you were wanting to mount this on a wall somewhere, some people that I've talked to even get a little 12-volt fan or something directed towards that to keep it cooler. Not a bad idea, actually, but I never had any problems the way I had it mounted before. It just does run a little hot, so keep that in mind. But yeah, that's my favorite. Okay, that's about all I wanted to show you guys on that charger there. That baby coming up. I've been reading all of your comments on this, taking notes. I appreciate all of you chiming in about this, because as I've mentioned, it's going to be my first real breakdown diagnosis of finding out what the heck went wrong with that. But I'm just about ready. So all right, lights out. Inverter doesn't even need to be on at this point, which it is. Off. And it'll just let that thing go through another cycle, which it'll get fully charged again today. All right, thanks you guys as always for tuning in. I'm getting out of here. Oh, it's a warm one. Oh, I hear a generator way off in the distance. Not mine. Haven't heard that out here in a very long time. All right, you guys. Catch you on the next one. Aloha. Whew. Yeah, it's toasty. Come on, I need an extra hand. Come on.